They told you to work harder, grind longer, and run faster, so you did. They told you to chase money, and yet money keeps running away. But what if I told you the people who truly win in life don't chase money, they attract it. They become so valuable, so focused, so magnetic, that money starts chasing them. And today I'm going to tell you how to flip the game, how to stop begging for opportunity and start building a life that pulls wealth to you. Let's get into it. Part 1, money is a magnet, and you're the source. Let's start with a truth most people never hear. Money is a magnet, and the strongest magnet that pulls money isn't luck. It's not fame. It's not even hustle. It's you. Money doesn't just follow hard work. It follows value. It follows energy. It follows clarity. And most importantly, it follows people who've taken the time to build themselves. That means before you ever make a dollar, before the bank account grows, before the opportunities show up, you've got to ask yourself, am I the kind of person that attracts wealth? Money doesn't chase people who complain. Because here's the truth. Money doesn't chase people who wait around. Money doesn't chase people who dabble and quit every time it gets uncomfortable. It chases people who show up like leaders, who walk in with purpose, who move with focus, who give more than they take, who aren't chasing, but becoming. You've got to shift from asking, how can I get more money, to asking, because when you become that person, how can I become someone who is too valuable to be ignored? Money moves toward you, opportunities find you, doors open. Not because you begged, you're the magnet, but because you built. Your discipline is the magnet. Your mindset is the magnet. Your skill, your attitude, your consistency, that's what draws it all in. Is this why people can hustle day and night and still feel broke? Not just financially, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, because they're operating with a weak magnet. They haven't done the work to become solid inside. They're chasing external results with an internal foundation that's crumbling. But when you flip it, when you work harder on you than anything else, when you grow sharper, calmer, wiser, more skilled, more patient, more grounded, something happens. You start walking into rooms and shifting the energy. You stop forcing things. You stop asking for validation. And when that inner strength shows up, because now your presence speaks, the world starts to respond. Money starts showing up, not because you're lucky, but because you're aligned. People start referring you, recommending you, trusting you, not because you asked, but because they can feel your consistency. You no longer chase opportunity. Opportunity starts circling you. Because let me tell you this, there is no shortage of money in this world. There's no shortage of resources. There's no shortage of people looking for someone exactly like you. But only if you've done the work to become magnetic, are you worth chasing? So the real question is, would you follow you? Would you pay you? Would you invest in you? Stop trying to pull money in with desperation. Start pulling it in with preparation. If the answer is not yet good, because now you know where to start. With excellence, with personal growth, with standards. Money becomes the result. With real value, because when you become the source, not a reward for chasing. Part 2, build value. Don't beg for payment, but a response to who you've become. Let's get into what makes that magnet stronger. Now that you understand you're the magnet, it's not begging. It's not hoping someone sees your potential. It's building real value. It's not waiting to be picked. Let's be clear. The world doesn't pay you for effort. It pays you for impact. You could work all day and still stay broke if your work doesn't solve a problem. You could hustle for years and still get ignored if your results don't speak louder than your mouth. So if you want money to start chasing you, you have to stop asking, how do I get paid? And start asking, how do I become undeniable? That's what value is. It's not about being flashy. It's about becoming essential. When you become so good they can't ignore you. Money follows when you bring solutions, when you remove pain, when you make people's lives easier, faster, better, more profitable. Money shows up. The best barbers don't beg for clients. Think about it. The best designers don't have to convince people because value creates demand. Why? The best problem solvers never chase. They attract instead of scrolling through what everyone else is doing. So here's the shift. And demand moves money. Instead of copying, comparing, or complaining, build your craft, build your mind. You want people to line up for your work? Build your skill set until it speaks for itself. Don't just be good, be irreplaceable. Don't just be active, be excellent. Give them a reason. And excellence takes time. It takes quiet effort. It takes days when no one is clapping and you show up anyway. But that's the price. Jimmy, it's worth it.
Because here's the truth.
The people at the top, they didn't climb by accident. They climbed by choosing to build value when no one was watching. You're not here to beg. And when they got there, they didn't ask to be paid. They set the price. You're here to become, and once you become someone of high value, you won't have to chase opportunity. Opportunity will chase you. People will start asking, how much for your time? Not because you demanded it, but because you earned it. So stop thinking about getting rich and start thinking about getting better, because better always gets paid. You don't become rich when the money arrives. Part 3, think rich. Long before the money comes, let me tell you something that will change your entire financial future. You become rich the moment you start thinking like someone who already is. Before a single dollar hits your bank account, before a single opportunity knocks. Because wealth is first built in your thinking. Your mind has to expand. Before a single client signs on the dotted line, they think small. And the reason most people stay broke isn't because they're not capable, it's because they never upgraded their beliefs. They operate from fear, and fear keeps money away. They play it safe. Scarcity says, there's not enough. Scarcity says, why me? Abundance says, I'll create more. Abundance says, why not me? You can't attract money while believing deep down that you don't deserve it. You can't attract wealth while resenting people who have it. You can't become rich while thinking like a victim. That's the trap, and most people never escape it. They're waiting for more money to fix their mindset. But it's the other way around. Start seeing yourself as someone who handles money well long before you have a lot. You fix your mindset, and then money starts showing up. Start seeing yourself as someone who builds wealth, not just spends it. Start seeing time as an asset, not something to kill. Start training your mind to think in terms of value, not just price. Rich people don't chase pleasure, they chase purpose. They don't complain about problems. They solve them and charge for the solution. They don't think in weekends. They think in decades. So ask yourself, or do you think like someone who's waiting for a lucky break? Do you think like someone who's ready for success? Because this is where the shift happens. This is the moment you stop saying, if I get money, I'll change. And you start saying, if I change, I'll attract the money. And here's the beauty of it. You can do it now. You don't have to wait to start thinking like someone who's wealthy. You can do it now. With the balance you've got, in the clothes you're wearing, it starts right here with how you see yourself. Because when you believe that you're valuable with the job you're in, the apartment you live in, the city you're standing in, when you see your ideas as powerful, you start showing up different. When you treat your time like it matters, and when you start showing up different, part 4, be so consistent. Money gets tired trying to catch up. Money notices. Let's be real. You can have the mindset. You can have the vision. You can have the dream. But if you don't have consistency, you'll never get there. It rewards the person who shows up day after day, no matter how they feel. Because money doesn't reward the person who works hard for a week. The world is full of people who start strong. People who talk big. People who get hyped, get loud, get moving for a while. But consistency, that's where the game changes. That's when results start speaking for themselves. That's where separation begins. They didn't get there by showing up when it was easy. The people you look up to, the ones who seem to attract wealth like gravity, they got there by showing up when it wasn't, when they were tired, when they were underpaid, underestimated, and overlooked, when they were ignored. They kept sharpening, but they stayed with it, kept building, and eventually kept delivering. The world couldn't look away anymore. You want money to chase you? Be the one who never disappears. Be the one who posts even when no one's liking, who writes even when no one's reading, who studies even when there's no test, who builds even when there's no applause. Because consistency compounds. And one day, the same people who ignored you will ask how you did it. They'll call it overnight success, but you'll know it was built in silence. Every rep, every late night, every early morning, every day you showed up when you could have made an excuse. That was the difference. You see, the reason most people never attract money is because they keep quitting on themselves. They start the business, then stop. They begin the habit, then break it. They write the first page, then never finish the story. But not you. You're going to become so consistent. Money can't keep up. So disciplined, opportunity starts chasing you. Because when you are consistent, you build trust. And trust is the foundation of wealth. Clients trust you. People refer you. Doors open, and the money that once ran from you starts running toward you. But only if you stay the course. So don't confuse consistency with perfection. You'll mess up. You'll miss a day. You'll fall short sometimes. But the real ones, the successful ones, the wealthy ones, they never stop starting again. They show up again and again and again until the world has no choice but to recognize their value. Until money is no longer something they chase, it's something they attract. Part 5, stop chasing, start attracting. Now comes the shift that changes everything. You've worked hard. You've stayed consistent. You've built value. You've grown your mind. But if you're still chasing, still begging, still hoping someone notices your worth, you're still giving your power away. Because here's the truth. The most magnetic people in the world, the ones who attract money, opportunity, and influence, they aren't chasing anything. They're becoming something. See, chasing is rooted in fear. Fear that there's not enough. Fear that you'll miss out. Fear that you're not enough. But attracting, that's rooted in alignment, in discipline, in identity. It's knowing that when you're locked in, built up, and walking in your purpose, you don't have to chase what's already on its way to you. Look around. Every industry, every field, every level of business. The top players aren't the loudest. They're the clearest. They're not chasing clients. They've got waiting lists. They're not begging for deals. They're setting the terms. Why? Because they became the kind of people others want to be around, want to learn from, want to pay, want to follow. They didn't beg their way into success. They became successful before the world even saw the results. That's what attracting is. It's walking like someone who already believes it, speaking like someone who knows they're built for more. It's holding your standard high even when the world tries to bargain you down. Because when you chase, you're chasing what you don't believe you already deserve. But when you attract, you're simply receiving what's aligned with the person you've become. And that shift, it changes your energy, your posture, your presence. You stop showing up with desperation. You start showing up with calm, with certainty, with quiet confidence. And money is sensitive to energy. It flows to people who respect it, who manage it, who prepare for it, who don't make it their master, but their tool. So from this moment forward, stop chasing. Stop running after things that aren't meant for you. Start building something so strong that the right things find you. Start moving in a way where your energy says, I don't need anything, I'm building everything, because that is what magnetizes wealth. You become the kind of person who attracts without effort, because the effort is already built into who you are. And when you live like that, money has no choice but to chase you. Part 6, respect money, or it will run from you. Let's make something crystal clear. If you don't respect money, it will not stay with you. It will run from you fast. People think money is just a number, just income, just what you earn, but money is so much more than that. Money is a mirror. It reflects back how you think, how you feel, how you live. And here's what most people get wrong. They want to attract more money without respecting the money they already have. They waste it. They ignore it. They spend it carelessly. They don't track it. They don't invest it. They don't even know where it goes. Then they wonder why they never have enough. Let me ask you this. Would you give more responsibility to someone who constantly disrespects what you've already given them? Of course not. And neither will life. You say, I'll start managing money when I have more. But it doesn't work that way. You don't get more than learn how to handle it. You learn how to handle it now. And that's how you get more. If you can't take care of $100, you won't take care of $10,000. If you blow every paycheck, a raise won't fix your problem. It'll just expand it. That's the law of money. It multiplies what you are, not what you wish to be. So if you're chaotic, it multiplies chaos. If you're disciplined, it multiplies growth. You want money to chase you? You have to show money that you're a safe place to land. That means you create a budget, even if you only have a few dollars. You track your spending, not because you're obsessed, but because you're intentional. You save, not just for emergencies, but to prove to yourself that you can delay gratification. You invest not just in assets, but in your own education, your future, your mind. That's what respect looks like. It's not fear. It's not hoarding. It's clarity. It's maturity. It's wisdom. Because you cannot build wealth on sloppy habits. You can't grow a fortune in the same soil you treat like dirt. Look around. The most successful people, regardless of where they started, have this in common. They treat money with purpose. They don't waste it on ego. They don't flaunt it to prove they have it. They manage it, multiply it, and move with strategy, not because they're obsessed with money, but because they respect it. And money respects people who respect it. So don't wait until you're rich to become financially wise. Become wise now, even if you're starting from zero, even if your account is low, even if you're rebuilding. Because the truth is, if you start respecting money now, money will start respecting you back. And once that happens, once you become someone who honors every dollar, manages every opportunity, and moves with clarity and control, that's when money starts showing up. That's when wealth starts sticking around. That's when the cycle shifts, and you go from surviving to building, from chasing to attracting, from struggling to stacking. So decide today, no more wasting, no more guessing, no more being casual with your future. Respect money like your life depends on it, because your freedom does. Part 7, walk in faith, even before the results show up. Let's end with this. You can do all the right things. You can build value. You can stay consistent. You can manage your money with precision and live with discipline. But if you don't walk in faith, you'll still fall short. Because here's the truth. There's always a gap between planting the seed and seeing the harvest. And what fills that gap is faith. Faith isn't about religion. It's about belief. It's about moving forward when you can't see the finish line yet. It's about showing up when it feels like nothing's working. It's about trusting the process even when the payoff feels far away. Most people quit too early, not because they weren't capable, not because they lacked talent, but because they lacked faith. They worked for a month and didn't see results, so they stopped. They launched a business and didn't get support, so they gave up. They tried, they got rejected, they failed, and they let that failure define them. But here's what smart, wealthy, focused people know. The results always come, but only for those who stay the course. If you quit every time it's hard, you'll never build momentum. If you need instant feedback to feel confident, you'll always be fragile. If you wait for results to prove your worth, you'll always feel unworthy. Faith is what carries you through the invisible season, the quiet season, the lonely season, the season where no one is clapping, no one sees your effort, and it feels like you're grinding for nothing, but that's the test. Because if you can stay faithful in the dark, you'll earn the right to rise in the light. If you can work without applause, you'll one day be the one others applaud. If you can believe before the results, you'll one day live in the results that everyone else wished for. So get up every day and move like it's already working. Even if your account says 0, even if no one's watching, even if no one believes in you, believe in yourself like your future already exists. Because it does, it's just waiting for you to meet it. This is not blind faith. It's bold faith. Faith backed by action. Faith backed by preparation. Faith backed by long hours, deep growth, and a decision to become unstoppable. And when you walk with that kind of confidence, that kind of quiet fire inside you, the world can't ignore you. You'll walk different, speaks different, work different. And soon, the money, the opportunities, the life you dreamed of, they'll show up because you didn't wait for proof. You became the proof. And that's when money starts chasing you. Become who money chases? Let me leave you with this. You've spent enough time chasing money, chasing approval, chasing opportunities. And every time you reached out, it felt like it slipped further away. But now everything changes. Because now you know the truth. Money doesn't chase the loudest voice. It chases the strongest foundation. It chases people who build themselves. People who sharpen their minds, raise their standards, protect their time. People who stop asking for a break and start becoming the breakthrough. And that can be you. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're not stuck. You're just one decision away. A decision to stop moving like someone who's waiting for permission and start building like someone who knows their worth. A decision to stop begging for income and start becoming a person of value. A decision to stop running after success and instead become so focused, so disciplined, so consistent that success has no choice but to run after you. The truth is, money is already looking for someone like you, someone bold enough to grow, humble enough to learn, consistent enough to show up, and brave enough to believe before the evidence appears. So make the shift today, from chasing to becoming, from needing to building, from hoping to preparing, because when you become magnetic, when you become grounded, disciplined, undeniable, money doesn't just show up, it stays. Now go, but build the mindset, build the value, and become the person that money can't ignore. You don't need to chase, you just need to become